What's up guys, Douglas from Dougsterbob.com here, and today we're going to be talking about the 2022 Kink Whip. This is one of my favorite bikes in 2021 and I'm so excited to figure out how good it is for street, dirt, park. Is it the right size for you? Is it the right quality for you? Would I recommend it? And just everything you need to know about this bike. So let's get right into it. Now the Kink Whip suffered a slight increase from the 2021 model to the 2022 model. It's costing $499, which is right at that $500 threshold. But I'm still super excited about it because that's a fairly decent price and you're getting so much quality out of it. We'll talk about the quality a little bit later. The normal Kink Whip version comes in a black fade colorway and the XL version comes in a sage gray. Kink always blows me away with their colors. These look sick. If you're a mid-level rider and you need a better quality bike, this thing is going to be perfect for you, so stay tuned for the whole review. Let's talk quality. Full chromoly. Finally, I get so bored talking about the lower quality bikes because I just want you guys to have the best bike. I feel like if everyone had $1 million, if I was Mr. Beast, I'd give you all my money so that you could get a $1,000 BMX bike. This kind of stuff excites me because I hate to see kids get a low quality bike because they don't have very much money. Turns out they're really good at BMX and they thrash that bike. That breaks my heart. So this excites me when it's a $500 bike, full chromoly, double wall rims, fully sealed everything, chromoly forks, chromoly bars, killer bike. The quality is there and I love it. Sadly though, it does not come with any pegs and it does not come with any hub guards. So if grinding is your true calling, you're gonna have to pick those up extra. Let's talk about the geometry. The Kink Whip has two different variations. It has the normal Whip, which is 20.5 inch top tube, and the Whip XL, which is a 21 inch top tube. You need to check the size guide to make sure that this is the right size for you because I'd hate to see you get the wrong bike. Now, aside from those two top tube size differences, the only other differences between this bike is the colors and the bars. So on the normal Whip, the bars are 9-inch rise, but on the Whip XL, they're 9.25. This gives you a little bit of added height if you're a taller guy. The chainstay length is very similar to every other Kink bike. It's a 13.2. This is right at the edge, like it's medium to long, I'd say. It's gonna make it easy to control the manuals. It's gonna make it harder to pop up into them and harder to loop out, which no one wants to loop out, so that's good. And then it's gonna make spins a little bit harder. Since it's not really responsive and snappy, you're gonna have a hard time snapping around those spins. The head tube angle is 75 degrees. This is not super mellow, this is not super steep. This is right in the middle where most head tube angles are. The standover height is 9 inches. This is a little bit taller than some of the lower quality Kink bikes. It's gonna make it easier to pinch for bar spins, easier to grab the seat for toboggans, but it's gonna make tail whips harder. There's not much really that matters with the standover height. It's a lot of personal preference, but having a taller standover makes the bike not as good for technical park riding. Let's talk about the Dougsterbob Scores. This is a scoring system that I developed to determine how good a bike is in park, street, dirt, and like the overall quality. It really helps you figure out how good a bike is for what discipline you're passionate about. If you want the scoring system, you can download it in the description. All you have to do is put in your email address. I'll send it out to you and you can see every single bike. There's like over 80 bikes on there. You can see how good they are for different disciplines. In the street section, before I even go over the scores, I'm gonna say this bike is well-rounded. So it's not street specific, it's not dirt specific, it's not park specific. It's gonna be really well-rounded and it scores generally low in most of those scores because it doesn't have the parts that are added to those specific bikes. So anyway, in the street section, it scored a 3.25. We're gonna round this down to a 3. No pegs, no hub guards, no free coaster. The quality's good, so it's gonna be fine for big drops and gaps, but you need those other things to really be a killer street rider. In the park section, it scored a 2.67. We're gonna round this up to a 3. It's not park specific. It doesn't have gyros. It doesn't have park specific tires. It's not really snappy and responsive. So if park riding's your calling, don't go with this bike. In the dirt section, it scored a 3.33. We're gonna round this down to a 3. Again, nothing on this bike making it dirt specific. It's gonna be fine if you're just starting out and you're cruising dirt, but it's not gonna be good if you're doing huge doubles and like tricks over jumps. But on a good note, the quality section, it got a 6.25. We're gonna have to round it down to a 6, but this is over 5, and not many bikes even score this high, especially $500 bikes. I'm really impressed with the quality with the full chromoly frame, forks, bars, double wall rims, fully sealed everything. I love it, and I'm so happy. On the score sheet, over 5 turns green. It's green. I love that. I'm so happy. Overall, all of those scores bring it to a 4.45 for the Dougsterbob score. I love this bike. I think it's a really killer bike for the price that you're paying. What are the potential issues for someone who buys a Kink Whip? To be fair, I don't see too many issues with it. It's not pro level quality, so if you are riding at like an exceptionally crazy level, things are gonna break faster than you'd expect. But if you're a mid-level rider or even a beginner level rider, this bike's gonna be solid. Even a high level rider, like not pro level, high level, I don't know about high level actually. If you're a mid-level or a beginner level rider, this bike is gonna be solid for you. But if you're way up there, it's gonna break. Like, parts are still gonna break as you progress. That's just something that happens, but it's gonna happen a lot less on this bike. The Kink Whip is for somebody who is already riding. You've been riding BMX for a while, you've learned some tricks, and you'd consider yourself a mid-level rider. You're either a taller guy who's getting back into the sport, or you're just a tall kid and you would want the XL version. If you're a smaller guy and the 20.5-inch top tube's right for you, you'd want the normal version. But generally, people who buy this bike are pretty invested in the sport. They either have goals of becoming pro, getting sponsored, and they need a bike that can help them progress and take it to the next level. The Whip will do that for you to a certain extent. Now, would I recommend this bike? 100% yes. This is literally one of my favorite bikes. I can't say enough good things about it. Last year, it was one of my favorite bikes. 2 years ago, it was the Cult Devotion. The Kink Whip took its place because I was like, whoa, $500, full chromoly double wall rims, this is crazy. The only thing they could do to make it better is add pegs or add a free coaster version, something like that. But as it comes, I think this is a great option, and I would 100% recommend this bike, even with the raised price in 2022. All right, so I obviously really, really like this bike. I think it's a great bike for the price. It's an amazing deal. And here's the thing. If you want to get this bike, I'm going to put the link up here in the description, and whichever shop has it for the best price, that's where that link's going to go. I'm going to look everywhere. I'm going to see where it's the best price, and I'm going to send you to that spot. It's probably going to be Dan's Comp, but if for whatever reason they're charging way more than somebody else, I'm going to send you to the cheapest spot. I see so many bike shops charging a stupid amount of money for a bike. I'm like, bro, you're ripping these people off. Like, I don't want you to get ripped off. So click the link in the description, buy it from there if you're gonna buy this bike, because it's gonna be the best price. And if you find it somewhere cheaper, please let me know in the comments so I can help out all of the other BMX riders. But what if this bike isn't right for you and you're still unsure? I have a free bike recommendation that you can fill out. It'll get your height, your skill level, your budget, what you want to do with BMX. Fill that out, links down here. And I'll send you a PDF recommending 3 bikes that are literally perfect for you. That way you can just look at those 3 and say, oh, I like this color, I like this bike, I'm gonna buy it. Then it saves you so much headache, and you'll get to see if the Kink Whip is actually on there or if I'm gonna recommend a different bike. So good luck on your BMX buying journey. I hope I was able to help you out a little bit, and I'm glad you're a part of the Dougsterbob community. People like you getting into the sport, make this sport what it is. And I'm so excited for you to find your dream bike and get into the sport. So have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next video.